Hello Royalties, welcome to yet another video. My name is Hanegantete. Thank you very much for stepping by. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is a platform where I do all things wellness. This is a parent-child support platform where I help parents to build strong and resilient relationships with their children. This is not an overnight thing, Royalties. We will learn today and tomorrow we are perfect. But we need to listen to these videos and apply as and when we do. If you do a mistake, you know it's okay. This thing, I was not supposed to do it like this. I was supposed to do it like this. You go back, you listen to the video until you get it right. We learn as we do. It's trial and error. When you see what you are not happy about how you spoke to your child or about how you treated them, you go back to the video, you listen again, and then you know what, oh, I was not supposed to say it like this. The thing that I'm dealing with my child is right, but the way I deliver it has a problem. The way I communicate with the child, the way I speak to them, the way I show them their mistakes, it's just a trial and error. But as long as we know what there's something that we need to fix, we'll be able to fix. Thank you very much, Royalties. I do this work based on my educational background and also just day-to-day experiences. I'm a professional social worker. So I also use my educational background, but more than that, I use the mistakes that I did in the past, the things that I did wrong in raising all the children. I check what I did wrong and I take those corrections, and I also empower other parents to do the same, to make corrections where needs be. So making corrections is what makes us to be better parents. It's not the fact that we are not supposed to make mistakes. We're gonna make mistakes, but as long as we know when it's time to fix and what are you fixing, so that next time you try to do better. So without any further waste of time, let us go to today's video. We are speaking on positive parenting tips focused on connection, encouragement, and guiding without shame. So on the first video we spoke about building connection first, and on the second one we spoke about communicate respectfully, and today we are speaking on guide behavior positively. This means we are checking on our children's behavior, but not with the mindset of wanting to impose our thoughts and our experiences on them. We are not guiding the behavior because we want to destroy the child or want to punish or to beat the child. We are monitoring the behavior because we understand that as parents it is our responsibility to teach our children skills that will groom them, that will make them to grow up to be better children, better people in the society, and even in our households. So grooming good behavior of your child means you're gonna have a peaceful experience as a parent. There's gonna be less chaos in the home if you don't just leave the children to do whatever they want. So it is our duty and our responsibility as parents to correct behavior, not to destroy the child, not to beat the child or to bully the child or children, but to correct behavior. When you correct behavior, it means you are saying to yourself and to your child, what you are doing is not right. So it is my duty as a parent to teach you new skills of coping in life. So that is basically what you are doing when you are correcting behavior. You are taking away the bad behavior and you are replacing the bad behavior with the good behavior. How are you going to do that as a parent? By teaching your child. Okay, and this takes time. We need to be patient with ourselves as parents, and we need to also to be patient with our children. When we see with our children are not there yet, we must not beat ourselves up. It means I'm a bad parent. Why would my child do this? Why would they speak to other people like this? That should show you there's more teaching that you still need to do. There's more good skills that you need to teach your child. It does not mean you are a bad parent, or it does not mean your child is a bad child. They also, it's gonna mean you are a bad parent only if you see bad behavior and you don't correct it. You don't teach new skills to your child. That is the only time you're gonna feel like a bad parent, or your child will be known as a bad child. So without further ado, let us go straight to today's video. Royalties. It says, guard behavior positively, focus on teaching. As I've said, misbehavior means there's a teaching that you need to do. You need to teach your child something so that the bad behavior will go away and a new behavior will begin, and a new skill. Your child will learn something new. So I've spoken about that, which we need to focus on teaching more than fighting, or maybe sometimes we tend to be so impatient with our children to the point of feeling like, or even saying to a child, I'm disowning you. Why would you do that? Other children in this home don't do this. You're the only child in this house who does this and this. That is very much wrong. Royalties. We do not raise children and compare them at the same time. The first thing that you need to know as a parent is your children are not the same. It is something that you need to know. They will not be the same. They are not the same person, and it is okay. That's the right thing. It is okay when they are not all like good behaving. Let's say maybe when now you grew up as this parent who was perfect, or okay, there's no one who's perfect, but most of the time you did things right, and now you are raising your child, and your child does not do things, most of the things right, just like you. That is okay. Your child is an individual person. You are also an individual human being. You have your purpose, they have their purpose. You have your goals, they have their goals. You have your assignment in the world, they have their assignment. This should tell you what vele your children will not be the same, or they will not be like you, or they will not be like their father. It is okay. Look at them as different individuals. Okay, we are a family because we grow together. We correct children where needs be, but we do not compare our children. We do not even expect them to be the same person. So the first one is focus on teaching. Teach your child and eliminate bad behavior. The second one says collaborative problem solving. You must have that thing. You would see, you involve your child in problem solving. It must not be your task as a parent. Would see, this is a problem and it needs solution. If you keep on bringing solution to all the problems in the home, your child will not grow in a way they're supposed to grow. They will grow up understanding Gucci Bona, they're gonna do something wrong and someone is gonna show up and fix whatever that they've done. So you must develop that collaborative problem solving skill. It says, the example says, let's say your child was playing with their toys, and we need to start grooming these skills from a very young age, really, as we grow our children. We must not see the problem when the child is 14 years old, but we are the parents who has grown this child. Why didn't we see some of the things? That means we were not doing what we're supposed to do. So this is an example of collaborative problem solving. Let's say your child was playing with toys, and toys are all around the dining area or in their bedroom. You see them, and instead of you picking up the toys, you call your child and you say, the toys are everywhere. What is your idea of cleaning up? What is your plan of making sure that your bedroom is clean, or the living area? What is your plan of making sure there are no toys in the living area and there are no toys in your bedroom all over the room? That means now you see the problem, and you are involving you in problem solving, but you are not personally solving the problem. The person who caused the problem must solve the problem. When you are just there to push them to the right direction. So maybe the child would say, I'm gonna pick my toys up after dinner. Okay, it's fine. That is you giving them freedom of choice. They're choosing to pick the toys after dinner. It's fine. After dinner, you remind them, now it's time to go and pick the toys. You know, you are pushing them to the right direction, but we are not shouting at them. We are not screaming at them, but you are making sure the job gets done calmly and peacefully. So, and the third one says natural and logical consequences. It is very much important that we allow our children to go through natural consequences. Let's say you tell your child, okay, we are going somewhere, wear your jacket. Or maybe they're playing outside with their friends. You call them, you tell them it's cold, come and take your jacket. You know, most of the time our children will say, I don't feel cold, I don't feel cold. I also tell my children the same thing. You're saying you don't feel cold now because your body is not cold now, but later on your body would have accumulated cold, and you'll start to be sick. You'll start to have fever, and you start to be coughing. Now we have to take you to the clinic or to the doctor. Now it is becoming a problem that is affecting the entire family. Kanti, it was something that you were supposed to listen when I tell you as your parent would say, if the weather is like this, wear a jacket. So most of the time our children will say, I don't feel cold. Okay, sometimes you let it go because you want your child to at some point learn by natural consequences. A time comes, they are cold, they are coughing, now it's a problem. That's when you say, do you see how important it is for you to listen to me as your parent? I told you you needed to wear jacket. You kept on telling me you don't feel cold. Do you see now that you have cold in your body? If you check, when did you catch this cold? The answer will be simple. From that time you told me and I didn't listen. You told me to wear my jacket and I didn't listen. So this is just an example. Sometimes you speak to a child to a point where you feel, okay, let me stop trying to teach this child this thing because they don't listen. Let natural consequences affect them. Then they will understand, when a parent is speaking, you must listen as a child and do what they tell you. You know, sometimes it will be an issue with your child does not follow through their study timetable. They come back from school, they go to play, they play. After playing, they're in the room, PlayStation, they're playing with their PlayStation. They're all over the show, but they're avoiding studying. Maybe they can do homeworks, but they avoid studying. And you've been telling them, you cannot just do homeworks and say you have studied. There's a difference between doing homeworks and studying. So even when you draw the timetable with your child, this is the amount of time you're expected to spend on your books in the home. There's time for homeworks in the timetable, and there's time for studying. So sometimes your children will just focus on homeworks and they tell you, yeah, I've studied, but in actual fact she was doing homeworks or he was doing homeworks. And you tell them, if you focus on homeworks and you don't focus on studying, chances are your marks will drop, or you can even fail some of the subjects. If they don't listen, it's okay. You've done your work, you've spoken. Now you let natural consequences to hit your child. Come end of the term, their marks have dropped or they didn't even pass at all. You tell them, this is the reason why you didn't make it. You didn't listen. There's time for homeworks and there's time for studying on your timetable, but you don't listen. I've been speaking to you, I've been trying to show you this thing. Now you have failed, you didn't make it, and you are not okay. Sit with that feeling, sit in those emotions so that you understand the consequences. If you do not listen, these are the things that you should expect. These things do happen in life, whether as a child or as an adult. There are different examples I can make depending on the stage of development of your children. Some children are young adults, some are teenagers, some are preteens, some are preschoolers. Depending on your child, you can allow natural consequences, but don't just allow natural consequences without you starting by doing your part. Play your part. If you feel they still don't listen, then let natural consequences teach your child. They also learn very fast through natural consequences. Royalties. Yeah, so those are the 4 pointers under guide behavior positively. The first one is focus on teaching. The second one is collaborative problem solving, and the last one is natural and logical consequences. Thank you very much, Royalties, for staying up to this point. I will talk to you again on the next one. Bye bye.